With fuel prices ever rising, the acceptance and demand of hybrid vehicles has been on the rise, not just in the Kenyan market but in many other African countries. The main advantage of hybrids is their fuel efficiency, but with anything that has an advantage, there's always a disadvantage, however slight. What many people fear about hybrids is the battery replacement, which is quite expensive. Another disadvantage is that being that we import 6 to 8 year old cars, this means in terms of battery usage, you theoretically have between 2 to 4 years before you may need to replace the hybrid batteries because they normally last up to around 10 years, though it also depends on the mileage because you may find a 12-year-old hybrid with even less than 100,000 kilometers. So mileage is also a key factor, and that's why it's always advisable to only go for a hybrid with very low mileage so that you can be able to maximize on the hybrid battery's life. So now in this particular episode, we are going to take a look at the best hybrids to buy in the Kenyan market. We will divide them into various categories. We will have the best hybrids for the taxi business, the best hybrid cars for family hauling, and lastly the best hybrid cars for both business and family. So please stay tuned. Consider subscribing to the channel for more informative content on cars and bikes, and welcome to Ikevoto Reviews. So let's start with the family category, and at number 1 we have the Toyota Fielder Hybrid, which doesn't need any introduction. It's a very successful nameplate and it's really loved by many. This station wagon comes with a 1500cc hybrid powertrain, which is mated to an eCVT. Its fuel tank capacity is 36 liters, but do take note that the non-hybrids have a larger 42-liter tank. In terms of fuel consumption, this hybrid can achieve up to a very impressive 30 kilometers per liter, depending on how light you are on the accelerator. These hybrids normally give very good fuel consumption figures in town or cities because it's mostly the electric motors and batteries that will now be working to power the car. So the fuel savings will be high, but once you are out on the highway, the engine will now kick in, and this means that more fuel will now get consumed. So on average, expect somewhere between 20 to around 30 kilometers per liter, depending on how you drive and also on how much weight the car is carrying. Typically on a full tank, this Fielder can give a range of between 790 to 1080 kilometers, which is good for a family car. The current price of this car, depending on the trim level, is between 1.5 to around 1.85 for 2016 models. It's a spacious, reliable and fuel-efficient family wagon. One major advantage that this car has is that once the batteries are due for replacement, instead of replacing them, you can just convert it to an hybrid and sell it at a good price, being that Fielders have very good resale value. People are very skeptical about buying a locally used hybrid, but with a Fielder, once you convert it to an hybrid, you can sell it at a good price. So this is a very ideal family hybrid that will not disappoint. At number 2 we have the Honda Shuttle, another super spacious wagon. It's very spacious, in fact more spacious than a Fielder, but in terms of its exterior, it tends to have a very bulky appearance that some people may not like. This car also comes with a 1500cc, which is mated to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which is more complex than a CVT gearbox. Its reliability and durability will only be known with time. In terms of fuel consumption, it's almost at par with the Fielder. It can get roughly between 20 to around 30 kilometers per liter depending on how you drive. It has a larger fuel tank than the Fielder. It's a 40-liter tank which can give a range of between 800 to 1200 kilometers. This car is currently going for between 1.4 to around 1.75 depending on the mileage and trim level. That is for 2016 models. Most of its components are shared with the Fit Hybrid, so getting the parts should not be a problem. It's a very decent car that can make an ideal family hauler at very affordable running costs. Let's now move on to the next category, which is hybrid cars for both family and business. Maybe you have a family and are also into business and you need a hybrid car that can be ferrying your family around during weekends, then assisting you in your business on weekdays. There's a very good option, which is the Toyota Sienta. This is one of the best compact 7-seater MPVs in the market at the moment. When you look at it from the exterior, you wouldn't even know that it can carry up to 7 passengers. I did an actual review of this car some time back, and I'll leave a link to that video in the description box. It's a decent looking car. It's very fuel efficient considering it's a 7-seater, and it's also super reliable. It comes with a 1500cc engine that is mated to an eCVT. This MPV can give a fuel consumption figure of between 20 to around 27 kilometers per liter, again depending on how you drive as well as how much loaded the car is. The fuel tank capacity is 42 liters, which means you can get a range of between 840 to 1170 kilometers. For a 7-seater MPV, this is very impressive. Our 2016 Sienta will currently set you back between 1.4 to around 1.65 depending on the trim level. This is another car that can easily be converted to an hybrid, just like the Fielder, by installing a 1500cc engine and a CVT gearbox instead of replacing the hybrid batteries. This car's main competitor is Honda Freed, and these two MPVs are similar in many ways. I also did a comparison review between these two cars, so you can check it out. I'll leave a link to that video in the description box. That said, Honda Freed is also an ideal option that is worth considering. In fact, if you check out that comparison review, you'll just see how much similar these cars are. In both cars, you can fold down the third and second rows of seats to create space for loading in a lot, be it products to or from your business premise or whatever luggage. These MPVs can carry quite a lot. Moving on to the taxi category, one of the best hybrids to buy is Toyota Aqua. This compact hatchback comes with a 1500cc engine that is coupled to an eCVT. This powertrain can get between 23 to about 35 kilometers per liter, which is actually best in class. I was initially skeptical that it could manage up to 35 kilometers per liter, but some owners actually confirmed that they were able to get up to around 34-35 kilometers per liter. This is even motorcycle category. It has a 36-liter fuel tank, meaning you can get a range of between 830 to 1200 kilometers on a full tank. 2016 Toyota Aquas are not very common. The previous models like 2015 and below are the ones that you can find easily, but you can get one from around 1.4 million shillings. That is for the 2016 models. They are there but not so many, but as time goes by their numbers will increase. This car may not be that spacious compared to something like a Honda Fit, but it's very fuel efficient and reliable, and this makes it a very good option for taxi business. In fact, if you intend to operate within a city or a town, you will have almost negligible running costs because the car will mostly be using the electric motors and batteries, so your profit margin will definitely increase. Something to maybe take note of is that if you keep driving on EV mode frequently, then the hybrid batteries may degrade faster, and this applies to all hybrids, not just this Toyota Aqua. The other hybrid option is Honda Fit Hybrid. This is another very fuel efficient hatchback that is even more spacious and practical than a Toyota Aqua. Like the Honda Shuttle, it also comes with a 1500cc powertrain that is mated to the same 7-speed DCT. This is a complex transmission, and in terms of long-term durability, it may not be as good as the eCVTs used in Toyota hybrids. But apart from that, this is an ideal compact hatchback that is suitable for the taxi business. It can achieve between 20 to about 31 kilometers per liter. With a fuel tank of 40 liters, this car can give a range of between 800 to around 1200 kilometers on a full tank. These Honda Fits have such a high demand that they normally don't last long in car dealerships. In fact, currently getting 2016 models is not easy, but this will change with time. A 2016 model will set you back between 1.05 to around 1.4 million. Its price has slightly gone up due to its demand. Another hybrid option that you may consider is Honda Insight. This is a car that can fall in any category. It can be a family car, a taxi car, or even just a personal car for running errands. It comes with either a 1300 or 1500cc, and both engines come paired to a CVT gearbox. On average, these engines can get roughly about 20 kilometers per liter. This car is not as fuel efficient as the other more advanced hybrids, but it's still not bad. It has a 40-liter fuel tank which can give a range of between 750 to 800 kilometers. In terms of the price, 2014 models will set you back between 1.2 to around 1.5. The last year of production was 2014, so that is the most recent model that is available. Unlike the other hybrid cars, this car can still move even if the hybrid batteries are dead. You will only need to install an alternator and you'll be good to go. But the car will now not be as powerful and efficient compared to when the hybrid batteries are still working. Remember, the batteries supplement the power produced by the engine. So if there's no more power from the batteries, the car will definitely start feeling underpowered, especially with passengers and a bit of cargo on board. So there you have it. I hope this has been helpful. If you are intending to buy a hybrid, always go for one with very low mileage so that you can be able to fully maximize on the hybrid battery's life. Which hybrid will you go for? Do let me know in the comment section. Personally, I would go with the Fielder hybrid. That's it for this particular episode. Thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate all those who have been subscribing, commenting, and liking this content. If you have any inquiries, always feel free to reach me via WhatsApp or email. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more informative content on cars and bikes. Stay safe, drive safe. See you in the next one.